So after the absorbing test match in Adelaide, which saw the spinners do rather well, also the batsmen had to grind for their runs, we now turn our attention to Perth. It's going to be a fast and bouncy track and the fast bowlers are going to make merry. But for the batsmen, if you're a stroke maker, there are plenty of runs to be had. Talking about stroke makers, we're joined by one. Damien Martin joins us live right now from Australia. Also joining us, former India cricketer in Murli Karthik. And I should say that Murli would be rather happy today. And I don't say that because he's a former spinner. I say that because of the way the pitch is looking. Let's quickly take a look at that pitch, and he'd be happy because he is now a keen golfer. Murli, have a look at that. That should, make the 18th hole at the Delhi Golf Club pretty proud. I mean, the grass there looks like the golf course, not a cricket pitch.
Exactly, Nikhil. Good afternoon, good morning to everyone. Madhav, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you. But yeah, look, I've got no idea about what that ground looks like or feels like, but I'm pretty sure whatever you've shown me, Nikhil, tells me that a tennis court, Wimbledon would be proud, or possibly the DLF golf course, because the DGC right now is not in great shape. But having said that, I don't know, is it just before the game that the wicket looks like that, or is it going to be the same for the game as well? Only tomorrow we'll come to know. Yeah,
I mean, I'll take that question to Damien. Damien, we've seen this, and this happens across the globe, that you see a lot of grass on the pitch on the eve of the match, but then when you actually call play, then the grass is shaved off. What do you expect to happen here?
Well, it depends. When was that picture taken? It might have been a week ago, was it?
No. This is this morning. And this is a fresh picture.
There's one thing though. It was Murali could turn the ball in any wicket, okay? Whether it's green, there's no grass, so he's fine with that, okay? He's good. But this is a new stadium, a new wicket, isn't it? It's a drop-in wicket. So this is the question that it's not the whacker. So it's a drop-in wicket. That's the question for all teams now. How do you play it? Like obviously bat first, but there's going to be some pace. There's going to be some bounce. But it's one of those ones. Who knows? This is the first time a test match has been played there. And how's it going to react? What happens?
Okay, we've just got comments from Virat Kohli. He was asked about the pitch, and Virat's come out and said that I hope that the grass is not shaved on the eve. He would want the grass to stay there. Karthik, do you think that's what pre-match sledging from Virat, you'd suspect?
No, I don't think so. You look at the way we have played across the two countries which we have toured recently, Nikhil. South Africa, we faced some difficult wickets. I think the batsmen and the bowlers especially, they've been brilliant. Right through the 3 overseas series, they've been really brilliant. When it comes to taking everyone chin on, I think Virat Kohli has done that exceptionally well. Right. Even in England, there were some really difficult tracks except for the oval. So it's been a tough grind for the Indian team, and that's one of the reasons. You also have to remember India has one up. India has got a better batting lineup compared to Australia, which I've been constantly saying. Sometimes people might say you don't compare eras, but you look at the teams of the 90s and the 2000s, Australia A and Australia B could beat these senior Australian team, and Marta, I think, is proof of that, the kind of teams which they had. Look, now they've got gaping holes, big, huge holes. Finch, easy an opener. And I think the Indian bowlers would be licking their lips if they give if they're presented a surface like that. So I think it'll play onto India's hands. And also, the Australian seamers look tired, look jaded in that second innings. So, and they've already been mollycoddled and cotton wrapped before the test series. So it's all going India's way at the moment. Fingers crossed.
Okay, the big question, as we raised right at the start of the program, will the grass stay or will it be removed? Now that's the question best answered by the curator of the ground, and this is what he had to say.
Is it possible to give a drop-in pitch specific characterisations the way that, for example, pitches like the Wacker and the Gabba have had?
It's very much about the clay, so we're using the exact same clay. So we use the same recipe for bringing the wickets up here as what we do at the Wacker, and they play very similar. So yeah, we don't sort of try to do anything different here. We just try to keep it simple.
All right, Damien, I'll come to you now to something that Karthik said before we went to the curator soundbite. Australia finds itself in a very unusual position. Usually fast track, they'd be the happier of the two. But at the moment, seems like, the Indian batting lineup seems slightly stronger on paper, at least, compared to the Australian batting lineup. Is this then the best place for them to make a comeback and the conditions that are on offer?
Well, the thing is, they have to make a comeback. I mean, what India's done is fantastic. When you tour country, you want to be 1-0 up, and that's what India's done. And I agree with Murali. I mean, India's side right now is better than Australia. A better batting lineup. Their bowling attack is good. They bowl quick. Kohli, the way he leads the side, is aggressive. We struggled in the first Test match, and in my era I played in, the first Test match was crucial. You wanted to win that one, and what Kohli has done with India, they're 1-0 up. That makes huge pressure on Australia now going to Perth. And this wicket is not the same wicket we've seen before. The WACA, when I played, was we were guaranteed the win at the WACA. It was just this wicket that we always won on. It was fast, it was bouncy, sides couldn't bat there. But this is a drop-in wicket, so who knows? And I think, as Kohli said in his press conference, they are full of confidence now. They've got momentum. They've got this bowling attack going well. I haven't even seen Kohli make runs yet. So when Kohli makes runs and Sharma, all these guys make runs, I just think that Australia right now, it's very crucial. Yes, they have to play well this Test match and get back. But India, I think, it's like when we went to India before in 2004, where it seems like India's arrived here and they're in control. They've done all their homework. They're very planned. They know what they do. And they're playing well.
Right. Both of you seem to agree that India then stark favourite here in the second Test match as well. But Karthik, I'll come to you. The way the first Test match panned out, at the end, it's what, 31 run was the gap between the two teams. Then is it really that much of a difference between the two sides, and Australia capable of making a comeback then?
Yeah, of course. Look, they've always been hard as nails. You have to remember that they're a very proud sporting nation. They're a very outdoorsy nation. Excuse me. And the thing is that India was run very close on that surface, partly because of the fact that every bowler was tired. By the time they finished, I'm assuming that Ashwin has bowled enough overs in that game, and he didn't look as potent as he did in the first innings, possibly because of whatever injury he was carrying. Right. So all those things allowed Australia to come back. But having said that, a win is a win. It's not about the margin of the win. Yes, Australia will be very happy with the way they fought back. But at the end of the day, for India also, you have to sometimes scrap hard. And when you go abroad, and as Marto rightly pointed out, the first Test match is so crucial. So, and if you've made a big tick box there, you go into the next game because it's the other team which is doing the catching up, not you. Okay. So it makes a big difference. And also, I'm actually looking forward to this new ground and what that pitch has got on offer, because the drop-in wickets you can't predict. Even the last one, what do you know? Does it have the natural wear and tear? It spun from first day, but as the game progressed, it became slower and slower. So it'll be interesting how the new Perth pitch plays.
All right, bit of an enigma how the ground or that pitch is going to play like, but we will give you a sneak peek based on the matches that have happened so far on this particular ground. There was that one Sheffield Shield game that happened, and that's the difference there. This is pace versus spin in that one game that was played at this new stadium. And if you look at that, I mean, of course, more wickets for the pace bowlers, but I'm also assuming because the pace bowlers did most of the bowling on that particular day, but the average actually gives you an idea, which is almost about the same. Damien, coming to you, spinners also can get a lot of purchase. Looking at that, an average of 23, not bad for a spinner on a fast bouncy track.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, even the old days of the WACA, Shane Warne loved to bowl at the WACA. There was bounce and there was spin. I mean, obviously, of those stats, yes, pace is going to play a crucial part, but spinners will come into it. I mean, Lyon, Ashwin, but to me, it's the batting lineups. You know, I think it's the difference between right now is that the Indian batting lineup is established. They've got people who have been there. They know how to make big runs. I think the Australian lineup at the moment is still trying to find how to bat in Test cricket. Like Finch at the start. These are guys now playing Test cricket saying they need to bat a long time. You need to make 400 plus. Can you do that? I mean, and obviously I think that's the difference. That the bowling attacks, but the batting attacks, I think India has it over, and we haven't seen the full Indian batting lineup, have we, make runs? And at some stage in these Test matches, it will click and they'll make big runs. That's the trouble for Australia.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point Damien makes. You know, even in the first innings, we saw the top order collapse. Second innings, the Indian batting lineup, the lower order actually threw their wickets away. So we haven't really seen the Indian batting lineup perform to potential. But we were talking about that one Sheffield Shield game that has happened. And who was the star in that particular game? No, it wasn't a Stark or a Hazelwood. None of those fast bowlers. It was this man, Nathan Lyon. He picked up 7 wickets. Total of 8 wickets were taken by spinners. 7 of them were picked up by Nathan Lyon. I take this to a spinner on our panel. Karthik, he's going to be another crucial. We keep talking about this being a fast pitch, but this is the man to watch out for.
Look, you've seen Shane Warne, and every time he bowled, you always got a feeling that something's going to happen. That happened with Wasim and Waqar. And with Nathan Lyon, I think that's what you feel. He's the most beautiful bowler to watch currently because, look, he doesn't say that I've got this dusra, tisra, fourth, fifth, sixth and mystery balls. He comes and bowls conventional. Really sorry, guys. Conventional off spin, ball after ball, gives that ball a rip. The body goes behind the ball. And then the natural variation takes place. He gets the ball to drop. He gets the ball to spin. He gets the ball to swerve both ways. And then he's got that attacking mindset and also the sly smile which a spinner needs. And I think on a surface which offers bounce, that's all you need as a spinner. The rest is in your own hands. And every time you watch Lyon, what Bishan Bedi used to say, what is a spinner? Who's a spinner? A spinner is somebody who spins the ball. And that's exactly what you see from him. So he is going to be a threat on any surface.
Okay, Nathan Lyon's going to be a threat, but there's not great news for the Indian camp because the spinner that they had who was a threat in that first test match, Ashwin, unfortunately has been ruled out of this particular match because of a side strain. This is the 13-man squad that India have declared. 2 people are out already, and that is Rohit Sharma, Ashwin. Both of them are injured. Hanuma Vihari comes in that particular squad. Umesh Yadav now making the 13 as well, and so you have Ravindra Jadeja also making the 13. So it's going to be interesting whether India go in with 5 bowlers, whether they go in the 4 bowlers. If they go with 4 bowlers, will they have a spinner, or it's going to be a 4-pace attack for the Indian team? Plenty of questions there. Karthik, first, I'd like you to pick your 11. What are the changes you will make based on those 2 injuries now?
Yeah, as I said, Ravi Ashwin has got an abdominal strain, which he must have carried from the previous game. I was told that Rohit Sharma is not well. And he's also got an injury.
Back,
Obviously, Prithvi Shaw has not been picked, so his ankle has not healed. And anyways, I was not going to tinker. If I was given the option of picking a side, if all of them were fit, I wouldn't have changed the side. But having said that, now that you're presented with the situation, I would pick Ravindra Jadeja for Ravi Ashwin because he gives you a lot of control with the bowling. And you never know, come day 3, day 4, if there's something on the surface, he'll definitely exploit. Also, you have to remember, he can bat. He's batted well at the Oval. In whatever test matches he has got, he's just got 100 at home. So he's also brimming with confidence. And the next man I'll pick, and this is only because of the fact I'm not picking a batsman in place of Rohit Sharma. And the reason why I'm doing that is that it's just a quick turnover between the 2 test matches. And as in the second innings, the bowlers were looking a bit tired. And if, as you showed me at the beginning of the program, if the wicket is going to have some amount of grass, I will always have Bhuvaneshwar Kumar because he brings a lot of control. He can get the ball to swing. He can also bat. So I've got 2 bowlers who can bat quite a bit, and also they take care of the bowling because it's been a quick turnover. Bumrah, Shami, all of them were tired.
Okay, interesting. Damien, to you, Ashwin there missing out. Ravindra Jadeja comes in, and that is what we don't know if he's going to be playing, but Murli's picked Ravindra Jadeja in his squad. Do you think he's going to be as effective? Because, with Ashwin, you had the left-handers in the Australian batting lineup to really exploit. I was looking at the Australian batting lineup, what they've got 4 in the top 6, 4 in the top 7 lefties with a left-arm spinner coming in. They'd be happy, the Aussie camp at the moment, with Ashwin out?
Yeah. I mean, I'd love Ashwin to be out. I mean, I don't want to face him. I don't know how you face him. So I think it's like anything, isn't it? An injury is like being Shane Warne's out for us or Adam Gilchrist, I think, a major player and a major spinner. But does it give the Australian team confidence? I think inside the Australian cricket team right now, they're trying to work out what their best side is, how they play, and just got to stick to the basics and make runs. I mean, yes, you look at the Indian side and go, okay, someone's injured, but really we need to play a certain way. I mean, and work out what we're going to do. We're not making enough runs. Our bowling attack a certain way. So Ashwin, quality bowler. It's a good thing. I mean, actually, when you win, you want actually the best players to play. So, but it's a good advantage for us at the moment. Whether we win though, I don't think so.
Okay,
it'll make we'll win anymore.
Right, just to reiterate the impact that Ashwin has on this Indian team, and these are interesting graphics that we've got for you. Now, this is without Ashwin, the Indian team hasn't run very well in overseas condition. If you take a look at that, with Ashwin in the 27 matches that they've played, the Indian team bowling average is 32. Without Ashwin, that average goes up to 40.64. So he does really make an impact when the Indian team is playing overseas. Also, India's just won 2 out of the 10 test matches overseas when Ashwin is not playing. Karthik, to you, big loss then for India?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he is again somebody not very similar to Nathan Lyon, but he's got that control. He's got the variation, And he's also got that attacking mindset to bowl. And also you have to remember he adds a lot of value with the bat as well. And at the end of the day, if you've got a good spinner in your team, what that allows the fast bowlers is to stay fresh, because he's going to turn his arm over from one end. Obviously, if he's good enough, then obviously he's going to pick wickets for the team as well. So the added responsibility on the seamers, or the workload or the burden, comes down a bit, and then the seamers can be rotated and used very nicely. But if that's not the case, if you don't have somebody who can offer you control or offer the number of overs which a spinner is required, whether it's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, as a spinner, you need to understand your role on a day 1 pitch, a day 2 pitch. And I think that is something which Ravichandran Ashwin has also understood. The first time he went, his mindset was only to attack even on the first day, which doesn't happen. I think county cricket, and the fact that he's travelled abroad quite a few times now, tells you that, yes, he has understood it's not about just attacking bowling all the time. And that's one of the reasons why India has done well with him.
Okay, patience, that's an attribute that he's picked up, as Murli Karthik was saying, after having played county cricket, after having played so much of test cricket. A quick word on Rohit Sharma. Damien, I'd like to come to you on that particular subject. He's had a stop-start sort of a test career. Now he's injured, he's out. If this pitch was to play anything like the old Vaka pitch, do you think this would have been the perfect place for him to relaunch his test career, considering he's a stroke maker? And you know, on a pitch like Perth, it can be tough for batsmen to survive, but then when they get going, especially the stroke makers, this is the place to make runs. I was looking at some stats, what some of the fastest test hundreds have been made on this ground, on the previous ground.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I think that one of the hardest things about the Wacker is that the first half an hour of your batting is really tough, okay? You walk in there and it's bouncy and it's quick and you think, how do I get a run? But if then you get in and you start making runs, it's a great wicket to bat on. The outfield's fantastic. And straight makers do. We've seen all the Adam Gilchrist, all these guys make runs. And look, I love watching Sharma bat. It's one of those people, like, it's like certain people in your career you look at and go, I just want them to make runs. Even if I'm playing against them, they just look great doing it. So, I mean, I think as all players go through patches. Now, the drop-in wicket, it's not the Wacker. This drop-in wicket, who knows how it's going to play in a test match. That's the hard thing to go. How's it going to play for 5 days? But yes, I think like certain players, which are talented, if they can get through these periods, these straight makers can take the game away and win test matches. And I think he's one of those people.
Okay, he'll have to wait for his opportunity then, because this test he's definitely out. Okay, we spoke about the Indian playing 11. Damien, I'll come to you for the Australian 11. What would you like to see the Australian team go with?
Look, as a player who's been picked and dropped, as we know really, that I like, if you're playing the first test match, you get the second test match. So I actually like the side going forward, but maybe it's a selfish thing. It's a hard thing to work out what's going on. But I think from a selector's point of view and you know, putting faith in players, you go, look, this is the test squad we picked. This is the team for the first test match. This is the second test match, and then, you know, you back the guys in. There might be injuries, obviously, with Tim Payne with his finger. Will he play? Won't he play? I'm not sure. As Murli said before, I agree on even quick wickets with bowlers. I think the spinner plays a big part with the quicks to give them rest. Even though the wicket might be amazing at the Wacker in the old days, you still need someone to rest up the bowlers, bowl into the wind, different scenarios. So for me, I go the same side and then see what happens.
Okay, you're going with the same side based on, you know, as you said, you know, give confidence to the team. If they played the first test match, allow them to play another test match. If there was a ground that you'd be tempted to play Mitchell Marsh, could this be the one? Because in a track like this, fast bowling all-rounder is what you need. India don't have it at the moment with Hardik Pandya injured, but Australia have that in Mitchell Marsh. Could they be tempted to go with him?
They could be. Look, I'm a big fan of Mitchell Marsh. You know, I'm a big fan of Glenn Maxwell as well. All these players that so much talent. It depends on the scenarios, the selectors, the captain, the coach, how they want to go. I mean, I think Mitchell Marsh is a great, you know, all-rounder, but it's doing it. He hasn't done it yet. You know, it's also performing in these moments. You know, it's like saying Glenn Maxwell, like amazing talent, but you've got to be consistent in what you do at this level. So it becomes a confidence thing. Does Justin Langer want that? Does selectors want that? Does Tim Payne want that? What does Tim Payne, I think, which I love, what does the captain feel comfortable with? What does the captain think is going to win him a test match? And I go with that.
All right, quick word then. I'm going to take predictions, and this is not going to be match prediction. My prediction that I'm going to be asking you is how many days the test, how many days is the test match going to last?
I can't hear.
How many days is the test match going to last? I'm not asking you who's winning this one. Damien.
To me?
Yeah.
Australians watching this coverage? I'm not sure.
Oh, yes, they are. We're global.
I'm picking India, okay? Well, it might be a draw. It could be a draw this wicket. Who knows this wicket?
Interesting.
I don't think Australia's going to win, no.
Oh, interesting, he says. Okay, he's picked India, also says could be a draw. I never thought someone would say that. I mean, I'm just going by the reports. They say, what, 3-day test match? Some are even saying...
Who's saying 3 days? Who's saying 3 days?
Well, I just read a report on an Australian website. I'd forward that link to you very soon, right after the show. Okay, Murli, Karthik, to you, how many days?
I've got no idea. I've seriously got no idea. And I was so happy that a test match lasted 5 days and it was gripping in a different way, because there was a lot of, what should I say, control by both sides. They kept fighting hard. I would like to see a test match like that. Enough of those 3-day, 4-day games where people are throwing away wickets. So it's good to see a 5-day game. I would still love to see a 5-day game.
Okay, the reason Murli Karthik sitting on the fence is because from tomorrow he's going to be here in the studio. He's going to be here in the studio.
Seriously, when a local Perth man doesn't have any idea, how do you expect somebody sitting far away in Delhi having any idea what the wicket's going to do there?
But
if I saw the wicket, then I could give a prediction.
We showed you the wicket. I mean, albeit from like thousands of miles away.
That is a makeup. When the makeup comes off, what do you know what's going to happen there?
Okay, we'll have him here in the studio discussing for the next 5 days. So will we have Damien Martin joining us live from Australia. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. That's all that we have for you on ESPN Cricket for Matchday. For the moment, looking forward to another exciting test match in Perth.